Hey, great dear friends, and what can I say? How do I follow my heart to make my voice actually better than what it is? Because I want to be the sound which is recognisable as relating to everyone. I want to be the voice that everyone could hear and say, well, that is my my energy, that is my goodness, that is my heart. So let's try and do it that way. I'll try and do it that way, right? So I was going to say something which affects all of us, because it is something which we never choose to remember when we are in a moment of strife or at our wits' end. But this is how I used to deal with suffering, and I always should remember that I am never alone when I find a particular problem, or when I seek to resolve something which is proving stubborn to sort out. Remember that other people have virtually identical problems, and they are so similar that we can actually look at these people rather, not the problems, as well as ourselves, and say, well, why do I need to worry about this? Because it is a normal reaction to the lives we live. So all problems are basically a part of life, and we all share the root cause of all these problems, and that is a sort of loneliness. That is a sort of loneliness which is the root cause of all our problems, of all our worries. Is loneliness. Is a type of loneliness. We don't recognise it because it doesn't. We don't know it's there. Until we actually get rid of it, we won't know it's there, because that's what loneliness is like. This particular kind of loneliness. Because to discover you're loved and appreciated more than anyone could ever know, like you're talking to a friend. Imagine your thoughts as a friend. Your thoughts as a friend, and say, well, perhaps I could, become them. Perhaps I could actually imitate them, and see what they're saying to me. Seeing if there's another way I can actually be a friend of my own thoughts. And there is a way you can do that. There is a way you can listen to your own thoughts and think, well, that's not me. It's somebody else. It's actually somebody else that's thinking that. It's actually a friend of mine. It's somebody who I love dearly. It's somebody who wants to go sailing with me and climb Mount Everest. Everything else. Actually, that's a bit extreme. But anyway, you know what I mean. It's a friend. Our thoughts are a friend. If we can make them a friend, they are a friend. So what else can I say? So the fact that we all get this problem, or problems, is because they're basically all identical to each other. Because we don't ask the world. We never ask the world. We never see the world, because we're so wrapped up in the problem, we forget to ask the world what the answer is. We forget to say, well, if the whole world has had this problem and they've sorted it out, they actually got past it. Because obviously they did, otherwise the world would be all miserable and depressed. So the world is the answer to our problems because of that reason. The fact the world is not depressed and miserable is because the world is the answer to our problems. Well, there certainly are people in the world who are not upset and miserable, so that's why the world is the answer to our problems. So let the other people do it, who do not realise that these problems all stem from the same root cause. Let the other people, let the wise people sort your problems out. Let the godly creations of the sea and the land sort your problems out. Let the great sky of mystery sort your problems out. Let the moon and the sun sort your problems out. Let everything sort your problems out, because that's what it's all about. Not letting yourself think that you're meant to torture yourself, because it's not meant to happen. It's not going to happen. There are many people who know the answer to your problem. Let them deal with it. Let them deal with it, and you will not have any more problems. that can't be sorted out. I would remember when we were younger also, and we were able to enjoy our creative energy as a new kind of experience. We did not actually realise how precious that was to us and how much we could actually learn from that time in our lives. So this is why you should listen to music nowadays, or people singing in a young spirited way, or just a very good way of singing or making music, so that you can see a lot of it is enhancing the qualities of our younger days and making them more appreciated, because of the fact we actually become the experience of our younger days, but actually later as an older adult. So this applies to the actual character that you might call the love of a greater, younger part of you. So you actually love the best part about your younger days. You actually love that, and you say, well, what's good about it? What's he doing? What's so good about being young? You know, there's a lot good about being young. There's a lot good. There's the quality of the experience for a start. There's the discovery of the experience of growing up, of being alive, of being aware of greater things, you know, that you could become. And that, for that reason, we can embrace words and what's coming in a much more creative way, in a very loving and youthful way, which is really the release from your own stressful environment. You know, it's because you know you have that ability in you. It's just that we've forgotten about it. We've just completely forgotten what it was like to be young. That's what's happened, basically. We've forgotten about it. So this applies to the actual character that you might call the love of a greater younger part of you, that can metaphorically appear from across the ocean and out of your previously stressed existence, like a very big door that can open for you and your life, to see all the sweet young lives that you never before realised how similar they were to yours. I never knew how much good there was in the adult approach to goodness, that was contained in our youth and our way of living when we discovered the creative energy of growing up. So when you listen to, you can say to yourself, that's what I like about being young. That's what I like about children singing, or adults, young adults singing. That's what I like about it. That's what I like. I like the feeling that goes with it. The feeling that goes with young voices. Young voices especially are particularly brilliant for that reason. And when we listen to music, you know, it's really adult music is really a extension of that, an extension of the experience of being young, but it is actually enhancing it. It's actually making it a bit of a creative work just by being young. It's making a creative work out of just being young, just the sound of being young, the young sound, I think Gary Chapin calls it, the young sound. We and it can be male or female, it doesn't matter, but the young sound is so good. It's so good, and it has so much inner joy within it for ourselves, because it comes from our youth. It comes from our childhood, it comes from our youth, and that is the inner joy of the young sound. Okay, I've said enough, I think. I'll leave it there and catch you later. Right, it's now Sunday evening, 3 minutes to 7, 6:57 in the evening, the 4th of August. Right, 4th of August.